So I just recorded all of this and now I have to do it over again because Fraps is being a butt. Anyway, welcome to a new MidBoss Dev vlog, coming to you now in sweet 1080p, because that's a thing now. It is still running natively at a different resolution, and it's being upscaled with a special true color adaptation of scale 2x I've made. Those of you familiar with emulators will probably know that algorithm. If not, there's going to be a link in the description, and that's to the original algorithm, not my modified version, which works on true color images. Anyway, welcome back. Lots of things have changed. First off, you'll see there's 3 bars now, and they're arranged kind of differently. So there's your health, there's your stamina, and there's your mana. These 2 are not used yet, so they just display question marks. What else is new? Let's go find some mobs. Oh yeah, while I try and find some mobs, I'll tell you about the save system. I don't think we had a save system last time, so that's going to be interesting. As I may or may not have mentioned before, I want MidBoss to be very open to modding and modders and mod friendly, and part of that is messing with the save files, I feel. So the saves are done in XML. They're for the most part human readable, like the tiles of the floor are stored in a base 64 string of binary data with an MD5 hash, so you can reverse engineer that if you want, but you can't really, read it directly out of the file. Everything else is saved, human readable, editable, and you can screw things up, but that's going to be interesting to people who like to hack their roguelikes, I think. It uses a system where it can only spend so long per frame on a save, and it'll just keep saving until the save is done and then start a new save, so there's very little lost progress, and it's also not going to affect your frame rate. So that's good. Over here, I hope you can see my cursor, because otherwise that's going to suck, but to the right there's a turn order bar. Because MidBoss is not a game anymore where you move once and everyone moves again, I wanted to give the player some indication of how their moves are going to be. Like if you're in combat with this rat and you're low on HP, you could make an informed decision, because after I go, this rat is going to go twice, and then I'm going to go again, and then a rat, and then me, and then etc, etc, etc. I've made the frame of the icon for the player golden, so you can easily see when your turns are up. I do intend to modify the images of the creatures that you possess slightly to keep some imp-like features in all of them, but still it might not be clear enough, so I wanted to give it quick visual indication that your turn is coming up. So as you can see, if I move away so there's no mobs in sight, it vanishes, and then when I come back it comes back, so that's a thing. And I don't think I've shown this in a video yet. This is your stats screen. Does not have tooltips yet. I wrote a big long post about this. If you feel like reading that, I'm going to put a link in the description. I'm just going to walk you through it real quick. So first up we have these big attributes. These are your meta attributes. These are the ones that you can actually increase. Now they don't map directly to, and well, they do map directly to some of these stats. For instance, violence is going to map directly to strength and power. Strength is, physical damage, and power is your magical damage. As you can see, I have 10 in all of these. This is crits and status effects, I think. This is HP and toughness and resistance, and this is endurance and spirit. So when you level up, you're going to get a few points that you can put into these meta attributes, and these are more for customizing the desired playstyle than customizing your actual stats. As you can see, I have 10 in all of these because that's what the imp starts with. And the imp has a modifier of 0.5 for all of your actual stats, which are used in game to determine effects. So this is all the same, but if you play, for instance, if you possess a mage, your violence might be 20, but they're going to have a different strength multiplier and a different power multiplier. The strength multiplier is going to be less, so I don't know, it might be 0.2, and their power multiplier might be 0.8. So that leaves you with about 4 strength and 16 power. But your violence still indicates how good you are at killing stuff. So if you subsequently possess a minotaur, you're still gonna be good at killing stuff, except this time you're gonna use strength and not power. This gets rid of a lot of false choices that I found in a lot of stat-based RPG systems, where you basically just pick your chosen mode of attack, so either physical or magical, and then shore up your defenses plus those attributes and just specialize in that one direction. And that's not really, that gives you a single choice, but every time you level up you don't have a choice about where to spend your stats. You always have to spend them in the same place. Here, if you've been doing a lot of violence and eventually you're noticing you're getting a bit squishy, you can just decide to put a few levels in relentlessness and, you know, shore up your defenses some more, or put some more in status effects. And in theory, all of these are gonna be about as useful as the other. I mean, there's obviously going to be differences by form and also by stats and just the way you like to play and loopholes in the system, but in theory it should be all equal. So if you want to play a tanky killer, you can do that. If you want to play a tanky crit based person, you can do that. If you want to be super smashy and be damaging crits, you can do that. That's all a thing. So you see here my speed. This is actually calculated live. This is not just text. So this is the cheat menu. I'm going to turn on the speed hack. So that's going to give me a buff, as you can see here. This is where your buffs are going to display. If you get more, they're just going to fan out from the center here. So speed hack increases speed by 10. That's the tooltips. That's a new thing. They're gonna be in here. They're very easy to add now, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So you can see that my speed is now 15. You can also see that that changes the turn order quite drastically. Normally Rats is slightly faster than the player, so you can see that he gets 2 turns and 2 turns, but not all of the time. But if I turn on the speed hack, then you can see that I basically get lots of double turns. So I get my turn now, and then a turn again, and then the rat, and then me again. So that's the thing. This is all saved, by the way, this buff. If I quit out and, you know, load back up, it's going to be in there. So that's all in. Leveling up is sort of kind of in. So you can see if I click level up, my level is going up and my HP is being recalculated, because you get one HP every level, and it's changing here too. But experience is still kind of fake. So is this stuff. Like current form does change, but this doesn't. Yeah, that's not going to take too much implementing. I mean, most of the work I'm doing on this game is on the user interface and the graphical user interface. I want, you know, roguelikes are known to be very arcane in their user interface, and that's not something I want to have for MidBoss. That may offend some hardcore roguelike players, but frankly, I'd rather my game see more players and be easier to use. I mean, being easy to use and seeing stuff easily. Like, I can easily see my health, my stamina, my mana level, form level, my experience, my form experience. I can see the turns. All of this is available in my buffs, and even what they do. It's very easily available to you, including a map, the mini map, everything. I want this to be as intuitive as possible. And that may put off some people who are into the, elitist aspect of roguelikes, and, well, good riddance. That's what I think. What else is new? Okay, so I can actually start attacking now. You won't be able to see this, but I'm gonna hit the right key, and that's gonna attack the rat. So the rat is now aggro, and as you can see, he starts following me around. Now he's a bit slow, but that's because I'm speed boosting. If I turn this off, you'll see that he's gonna stay 2 tiles away, and now he's gonna gain a tile, 2 tiles away. And this is why the turn order is important, because if you see this, then you already know that you're not gonna get away from this rat. So it informs your decisions quite well. So I can, the rat attacks me back. When I'm in range, I attack him. There's a minimum damage of 1, by the way. I'm not sure if that's interesting to anyone. You can see my health is being drained, so that's a thing. And I killed him. The turn order bar vanishes because there's no monsters around, and, well, I don't get any experience, but that's easy enough to, add. I'm probably going to use the experience rates of the original game because that worked out quite well. So that's working. You can see that the pathfinding is also working quite well. So it'll path around there, and But one of the things I wanted to show you is this is a cheat that lets you always see all the mobs on screen, even if they're outside of your visibility radius. So the rat can now see me, so it sets my tile as its destination, or rather the tile right next to it. But if I vanish, so let's vanish somewhere, so it can't see me now, but you'll see that it's still gonna move towards where I was. Is it gonna move out here? Yeah, it is. So you can see it moving, and it moves to the position it saw me at last. Once it's moved there, it'll just return to its normal default behavior, which is, randomly meandering around. Now, if I go back there, back into sight, he's gonna come chase me down again and try and kill me. So that's all working. That's the basic AI you have there. There's also been provisions for abilities and, ranged attacks, but because that's not in yet, I can't show you that. But basically, we're getting pretty close. With all of this, if I add in the remaining monsters that were in the original, and some level ups and learning abilities and stuff, we should be good to go. I can release this, and it's going to be have at least as much content as the original had, and I can start getting feedback and adding more content and new features and stuff like that. So that's probably gonna be in a matter of weeks, maybe 2 months. I'm hoping. I'm not too good with sticking to deadlines, I know. But yeah, it's pretty exciting, and those of you who have, stuck by me and been watching my videos and commenting on stuff and sharing, I'd like to thank you very much, because that's if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be making games at all. Because, you know, that's the thing. Anyway, thanks for watching, and oh, this is actually quite good. See, I was moving up here, and I can't see the rat because it's, you know, behind my cursor. But because this popped up, I instantly knew there was a mob around somewhere, so I could, you know. Although it is a bit bad that this obscures it a bit, we might have to, you know, make it a bit smaller. Maybe do something like this. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of up to the person who's playing the game, isn't it? That's not really up to me. This is why I want a user interface to be customizable like it is. So you can, you know, change up stuff like this if you think, you know, that's not working. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.